Did you know the media has two primary functions? One, to brainwash the celebrities so that all their followers do exactly what they suggest. And two, to protect the paedophile rings, to protect the system of blackmail that government is based on. Isn't it funny how the media companies, the top level, are all corrupt individuals that are CFR and Bilderberg members? For example, recently there's a picture that came out about the Epstein case. Someone that was linked to Madeleine McCann. And it turned out to be Ghislaine Maxwell, someone that looks extremely like Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of Robert Maxwell. These media barons, again, and the same thing could happen with Max Clifford, the same thing could happen with, any number of famous people that are protected and pampered by the establishment. Because the paedophile system, the paedophile ring system, is how they ensure the politicians' loyalty. They've been caught in compromising positions, they've been filmed, and they're being held to blackmail. And they're saying, if you don't do exactly what we suggest, we're going to release this footage. It used to be infidelity. But now, no one would care if someone released some footage of someone cheating on someone's wife. Oh, big deal, everyone cheats. But when it comes down to paedophilic rape, I guess that is a big deal. But it's not just the fact that paedophilia is extreme that's why they do it. It's also because children are very easy to exploit. And that's what everyone's learned about from researching the Hollywood film industry in the 80s, etc. There were lots of films with kids because kids were very easy to exploit, and it turns out a lot of them were being abused, particularly by people like Steven Spielberg. I wonder how many big-time directors that we hold in high esteem are actually caught again and again in these paedophile rings and being paedophiles. People like Tom Hanks, who was caught and exposed by Isaac Cappy, who said he would never kill himself and then killed himself. Oh, it was a suicide, of course it was. Just like Epstein, who was screaming in his cell as he hung himself, because that's what you do when you hang yourself to try and, raise attention, to make all the guards come in the room and say, look, I'm hanging myself secretly, that's why I'm screaming. But we live in the kind of world where they can get away with that. They got away with 9/11, they got away with the moon landing, they got away with everything. They got away with saying that Libya uprising started from a cartoon, a YouTube cartoon. Yeah, of course they did. They got away with that. They get away with saying that Epstein suicide, they get away with saying Russia, collusion, they got away with everything. Even though they apologised for things, they still got away with it because it infected the public consciousness. That's all the media does, that's all the gulag does, that's all the social media permits. Anyone who's going to infect the public consciousness, and that's why they that's why they pamper their celebrities in their ivory towers and treat them really well, etc., because they're the ones who are going to be influential. They're the ones who are going to lead the masses with whatever they suggest. So if Miley Cyrus comes out and says, oh, we need to sign against hate speech, we need, a law against hate speech, or, what's her name, that stupid thrush woman? Taylor Thrush, that's it. Oh, Taylor Swift, different bird. I mean, she's been going on the VMAs, whatever the fuck they are, saying, oh, we need the Equalities Act. It sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah, just like the Patriot Act. That was the anti-patriotic act. It was ridiculous. Everything's backwards, but these twat celebrities can't see it. And they think we're going to stay with them. They think we're going to like them. We're going to watch all their YouTube channels. We're going to dance to all their songs. We're going to go to their clubs. No! Culture is over. It's over. That's why everything's getting woke and getting destroyed. That's why all the products in the supermarkets are just getting ruined. They're getting small and having chocolate taken out and changing the ingredients. No one cares about protecting what was. They're just adding all kinds of poisons to the food to kill us quicker and quicker because culture is over. We're just living in the remnants of the last days of Rome. Like in this country, people are pinning all their hopes on Boris and Brexit. Boris isn't going to give us Brexit. He's a globalist. And remember that I said this. Because globalists don't work for nationalists. That's not how it works. You don't suddenly change and then become a nationalist. And Boris backhanded comments about Trump. We know where his loyalties lie. We know what the agenda is, and we know what kind of person Boris is. We know where he came from. We know where he's going. Unfortunately, the right-wing twats don't. They hang on to his every dog whistle saying, no deal, yeah, that's going to come, isn't it? Because Brexit's really going to happen with a globalist who tried to save the Iran deal, ran around to America to try and do that, and then frame Russia for the Skripal poisoning when they weren't even connected to it, according to Switzerland laboratories. So, Boris is a globalist. He's a traitor. And when he doesn't deliver Brexit, when, not if, when he doesn't deliver it, we'll all know that he's a traitor, we'll know that politics has failed, and we'll know that the biggest obstacle to Brexit is politicians in general. And just as we're in a post-truth era now, we'll be in a post-politics era then. Because politics has failed, successive prime minister after successive prime minister. They've all failed to implement the wishes of the people, the will of the people, and the vote in 2016 they are failing to implement. They keep using dog whistles and keeping us tagging on, giving us promises that they can never keep. But isn't that true of all politicians? Yes, it has been. So do we need politicians? No, they obfuscate. That's all they do. We need some kind of anarchy, some kind of structured system, yes. But we don't need what we've got. We don't need all the institutions. We don't need the pedo police squad. We don't need all the common purpose crap in the judiciary and everything else. We don't need it. We need the opposite of it to be saved. We need free speech. We don't need free press. Why is free press more important than free speech? Why do they go on about free press being so important when they're just a propaganda conduit? Just causing world war, civil war. They've completely weaponized the populations to turn them into complete lunatics. They're able to say that Trump has killed more people than Stalin and Mao and Hitler combined. Oh, of course he has. But don't correct him on that. Don't correct anyone when they say anything like that in mainstream media, because that's not your job. Your job is there to stop Trump. You're there to stop populism. You're there to maintain the hegemony of globalism. That's all you do. There's no point in you anymore. You're not a free press. We need free speech. It would be a novelty at this point, because even Gab isn't working, and MeWe has started blocking things with the Facebook News Guard. MeWe, yeah, because no one's ever heard of it, but apparently it's still using the same Facebook technology, so it's part of the gulag after all. There isn't anything that isn't part of the gulag now. There isn't anything that doesn't censor, because every CEO works out they can get more people by conforming to the establishment somehow rather than fighting it. If America had made hate speech laws part of law, then Gab would have to adopt those laws as well, because it would be part of law, and anyone using hate speech on the Gab platform would be removed. In complete contradiction to what Andrew Torba, the CEO, said originally in his mission statement, that they would preserve free speech against hate speech. But if it became law, they would have no choice but to adopt it. That's where free speech lies. That's the state of free speech in the world. We're dependent on one platform who's already gone sideways. Brilliant. We need more. We can't just have a locked down world where we can't access the information we all need to, that was readily available when we didn't need to. We're not having this locked down world. Alex Jones' show yesterday said that they've lost. I said they lost. I reached that conclusion ages ago. The reason that they're coming out in the open now and saying deep fakes are great, everyone support deep fakes, is because they don't care if people know that someone's perjuring someone. They don't care about defamation. They encourage it because they're destroying the remnants of what's left because they lost. They're destroying the remnants of society because they lost their hegemony. It's as simple as that.